welcome to the Bad Moon Cafe YouTube channel. Today we're being joined by the wonderful Steve.
Hey.
Who is the pillar of our Flesh and Blood community here at Bad Moon. We play every Monday at 7 o'clock. Steve, tell us about Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood is a competitive card game where it is two heroes going at it in arm-to-arm combat, built around a fantasy thematic of the game.
Okay.
It's
an epic battle to the death.
Yeah, very much. Two fantasy heroes, give or take, will go at it in a just 1v1. Or there is a format which includes up to 4.
Oh, okay.
So 4 heroes going at it and trying to be the last person standing.
Fantastic. How do you go about picking your hero?
You pick a class and you pick one of the heroes from that class.
Okay, and I take it the different classes have different abilities, different strengths, different weaknesses.
So each class will have its own theme of playing. So if you're a brute, you're just hitting with fairly heavy attacks. If you're like a warrior, you're focusing around your weapon. So very much like that. So you'll pick the theme very much is given to the class, and then you'll pick a hero that has an ability that you want to use or pretty much build around.
Okay, so you've got your play style in your class.
Yep.
You've got your more specific abilities in your hero.
Yep.
You mentioned weapons.
So currently there's only one weapon that anyone can use, called the Lost Prince. Other than that, every class has a selection of weapons that they can pick. So their armory, funny enough, which is also what their basic tournament structure is called for Flesh and Blood, called their armory. So a hero will pick their weapon of choice. Normally, currently in the system, most heroes have 2 to 3 weapons that they can pick from currently, but as the set goes on, each one will potentially get another one added to their pool.
And you just pick whichever one looks more epic or does the most damage, presumably.
Yeah, pretty much currently is pick the one that looks the one that does the most damage. But then now and again you'll just pick the one that looks nicer.
Fair enough. And presumably your opponent also has weapons. You're going to want armor.
Yes. So much like there's select equipment that anyone can use. When it comes to picking armor, there's a certain amount of equipment anyone can use. It's called generic equipment. Okay. Most of it's okay, some of it's good, but the main good solid equipment comes from hero class specific equipment. Okay. So building what is needed for that hero.
So you want like fancy samurai armor as opposed to like a generic vest.
Yeah, so you don't really want to be walking around in just like a shirt and t-shirt and shorts. You want maybe if you're like the Guardian class who has like these big kind of chest pieces that do fancy things. Then there's like loads of different like footwear, different arm pieces, different head pieces. So there's only 4 equipment slots, but the amount that you get to kind of customize about which one you want to pick to fit your style of play. Okay. Or just whichever one looks nicer.
So you've got weapons, fabulous outfit, you're both ready. Presumably you start fighting.
You're gonna need a deck first.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, of course. So depending on the format, you will pick you have to build a deck, which for the minimum is 40 cards. Okay. And certain formats it'll be 30, just because of the type of format included.
Do you always have to build a deck? I know we've got some slightly battered blitz decks hidden behind the counter that people can sometimes borrow.
For the most part, it is always build. Okay. So unlike other game formats, maybe like Keyforge, where it's all pre-built, in Flesh and Blood, it's always constructed. From the draft and sealed formats, which are, you're getting packs and you're opening packs and building from what you've pulled, to blitz and classic constructed, and even something called Ultimate Pit Fight, you're building from your pool of cards that you have just laying around, or from packs you've opened, and building from anything from 40 all the way up to 60 plus. Okay. So it can get a little bit daunting at the higher end.
Sounds fun though. Okay, you've got a deck. I had looked at some cards before this. I'm a Magic player. There's a lack of mana. How do you do anything?
Yeah, it's very much, and it can feel like there's times in the game where it can feel like you wish you had mana.
Okay.
Your hand is too expensive to play. But what you do is your hand is also your resources.
Okay.
So whenever you play a card, it will have a cost.
Mm-hmm.
So anything from 0, currently the highest I believe it is around 14 resources. So it can get really pricey.
Okay.
But you'll then, once you've played a card, you then pitch one of the cards in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into your pitch zone, so it's not lost. And then any resources remaining can again carry on to the next thing you want to do.
Okay.
So you're playing a card, looking at how much you're going to cost. So if a card costs 2 resources, you can pitch 2 reds or a yellow card or 1 blue and have some left over,
Mm-hmm.
and then resolve that card.
Okay.
And then it stays for the rest of the time
Mm-hmm.
until the end. And unlike in Mana, the card doesn't stay on the board like in Magic's lands.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to the bottom of your deck. So
Okay.
it's not gone gone forever. You can get that card back later on.
Interesting. And playing cards, is that the battle bit?
Yeah. So you're playing cards from your hand,
Mm-hmm.
include even the heroes that use or focus around their weapon are still playing certain abilities that improve the weapon that they're using.
Beef them up a bit.
Yeah, beef them up. So for warriors, they have actions that make their sword hit harder, or reactions that catch your opponent off guard and be like, okay, no, it's coming in, was free, it's now 9, because that's what warrior does when it wants to.
Okay.
So you're building around what's called a chain link.
Mm-hmm.
Some heroes only use 1 chain per fight because they just have guardians and brutes pretty much have these big attacks that have really kind of detrimental effects if it gets through.
Okay.
Certain heroes, so like Wind or ninjas, they want to play around the chain link. So for example, ninja wants you to have as many chain links as possible, which is, so let's say chain link 4 would be 4 attacks in a row.
Oh gosh.
So,
okay. Like in one turn.
Yeah, in one turn.
So a chain link is you attacking, your opponent defending, then you attacking some more. How does that all work?
So player A
Mm-hmm.
declares an attack. So they played a good card. Any additional costs have to be resolved.
Okay.
Once they've kind of said where the attack's going and what it's coming in for and anything else, turns to player B.
Mm-hmm.
Player B has an opportunity to defend with the cards in their hand. So this is why it's really 4D chess. You've got 4 cards and you might not want to defend because this card is really good, but you also don't want to take any damage. So most of the cards in the game also block. So has a pitch value, resource value, an attack value most of the time, and a blocking value.
Okay.
So if a ninja's first attack is coming in for free, they might have to block with the cards to stay alive that has free block value. But when it comes back to their turn, they're now 1 card short.
Ah, yes. You draw at the end of...
You draw at the end of the turn.
That's tricksy.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it does stop certain heroes being like, okay, I'm just going to block and then draw up, and then now I get to hit you. It's, okay, I had to stay alive, I had to block this turn. It's going to be detrimental later when I've lost these really good cards, because once you block with a card, it does go to your discard pile.
Right.
So unless you have ways to get them back, you're very much slowly running out of good opportunities to hit back.
So it is like a proper battle. You're getting tired, your weapons are rusting. I don't know. How does it work?
So the longer the game goes on, you get to a point called fatigue, where you've just run out of the ability to attack, or you've run out of, your deck is gone completely, because you've either been too aggressive or you've been blocking too much. You can get to the point where you fatigue, and at that point you just will either concede or see if your opponent can finish the fight in time, because there is a time limit to the fight.
Okay.
So you could be, okay, you've got 2 minutes, let's see if you can finish the job. So Yeah, that's how the cards work. And the longer the game goes on, you start to run out of your really good cards that you've put in. So if you're a Guardian hero, for example, and you've used Crippling Crush, which is this really powerful 11 attack with an insane on hit.
Okay.
But if you've blocked with all 3 of them in the game and you've got no way of getting them back, you've lost 33 damage is just gone from your deck.
Okay, so you have to think many steps ahead.
Yeah, you've got to make sure that you're not blocking with the cards that you're going to need an Eternal to. So that's why pitching is really important, because something might cost 3, and if you pitch efficiently, you might pitch a red that you want later on, and then pitch a blue. So you have a resource floating, but once you've rotated and cycled through the deck, that card comes back, and now you're gonna swing back.
So it's knowing when to attack, when's best to defend, and managing your resources so that you can continue to do both of those things for longer than your opponent and win the battle.
Making sure that you're not being if your hero's quite slow and steady, not being too aggressive with your equipment, because some of it has destruction that can be destroyed. So there's something called Blade Break, which is, it might have this really good ability, but the moment you've used it to block, it's broken and gone from the game.
Okay.
And then there's certain things that are what's called battle worn. So they stay on the board, they stay around, but their effects are probably not as powerful. But at least they've saved you from taking damage that turn.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely intrigued. If I wanted to start my first deck, where should I start? What sort of hero do you think I'd enjoy playing? I am quite an aggressive player when it comes to things like Magic and Warhammer.
Okay, so if you're quite an aggressive player, it then comes into the question of one big attack or multiple smaller attacks.
Okay.
So if you were to be, I want the highest number possible in one go, you would look at someone like a Guardian. So if there's a couple called one's called Oldhim, Bravo, Valda, who she can be really really powerful on hit, big attacks once per turn, just hitting as hard as your opponent's done through multiple. But it's then your ability to block is a little bit harder because you need to keep your hands. If you prefer a style where it's multiple attacks, different sources of damage, so there's something called arcane damage and physical, so being able to split and decide and make your opponent decide on how they're going to block. So if they want to block the arcane, they have to pitch certain cards. If they want to block the physical, they have to be willing to risk the card.
Okay.
So if you like being more aggressive and making your opponent decide how
they're best going to lose.
So
okay, I like the sound of that.
So one big attack.
I'm going for multiple across the board. Make them sweat.
Make them sweat. In that case, I would say Briar.
Okay.
So her whole thing is that every time you play 2 non-attacks, you get a token called Embodiment of Lightning, and it means that the next attack you play, no matter what, has go again. So you hit with this big, maybe like a Command and Conquer attack, coming in for 10, and they can't use defense reactions. They lose their certain parts of their board from it. And then normally every other hero is like, that's all I can do. But Briar, if she's done it properly, then goes, oh, by the way, before I finish, I'm going to swing with my sword.
Sounds perfect.
And split the damage as well, because her sword is very very powerful.
Big and scary sword? Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
Sounds like a future Briar hero.
Definite possibility.
If then the question is what format? So if you're wanting to really enjoy this kind of aggressive hero, then you're going to need an aggressive format. Unless you want to be aggressive and see if everyone else can stay in the game long enough, or would you just want to go?
Oh no, go all in, aggressive format. Yeah.
Aggressive format. So Blitz.
Okay.
So 40 card deck. You only have 20 health, but if you've done it properly, most of your turns are hitting for anything from 10 to 14 plus. So
2 turns and they're out.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive format. Most of the time, it takes longer to set up the game. Not really, but like it can feel like it takes longer to set up the game than it does to play.
Okay.
And so you're going in 40 cards, and every turn is you're playing all 4 of the cards in your hand to just maximize.
I like it. Okay.
So a Briar hero you need to build.
Yeah. If people watching want to start learning how to play, I think maybe looking at every hero might be too much. Maybe we look at classes in future videos.
Classes will be a lot easier because a lot of the classes play very similar to the other heroes in their class.
Mm-hmm. So we agree. I've roped you into doing more videos with us. A whole series, one for each class, culminating in a battle report. Maybe me with Briar.
You, Briar? Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that next video, we're going to need to build you a deck.
Yes.
And understanding how deck building works.
Okay.
And then possibly seeing how you pilot that deck.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, I'm excited.
Okay.
Can I dress up as her? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, she's fairly appropriate. Yeah, she's fine.
Okay. Well, I think we've got a plan. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Steve, for coming in today to do our video. Do like and subscribe if you want to see more Flesh and Blood content, and comment below what hero or class you think you'd want to do. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. I'm Jasmine from Bad Moon Cafe, and did you know Bad Moon Cafe is a Flesh and Blood armory, which means our Monday night armory events come with exciting foil promos to win. Also, every time you play, you have a chance to enter our raffle, a monthly prize draw to win a beautiful Flesh and Blood playmat. See you there on Monday. Bye.